Alright, so welcome back. We just did the primary part, the secondary part, and now we are going to do the final look on how to give your image its source, which is where you create the look and the mood of your image. Now, I told you it's 3 steps in color grading: first, second, and third. Having this knowledge will help you grow fast in your color grading and every other thing that has to do with grading. So, yes, let's create a new node. Now, we want to give this grade a look. Now, what type of look do you want to give it? That also matters. Is it a teal and orange or whatsoever? But let's try. Let's say we want to keep our skin where it is, but want to work on the dark side of our image. Do you know we can come to our lift and start pulling our lift to this point like this? So let's go before and after. And let's say, okay, now we want to push our gamma to this point. So let's go again, before and after. We are creating a look now. This is us getting our look. We can still say, let's come back to our lift and do this to this point and maybe give it a little green, but we don't want to do it too much, so let's be very careful with what we do. Good. So let's go again, before and after. Our skin, we can still push our midtones. We can still push it. Maybe we stop somewhere around here. So let's go again, before and after. Now we can still come to our gamma and maybe give it a little green like this. So let's do this again, before and after. Let me make this big. Can you see from this to this? This is you giving your image a look. Now I can still clean this, or let me save this. Let me grab still and clean this part. You can also do this if you don't want to affect the image too much. Let's come to our log wheels and work with the shadows. Now the shadows is also the darker sides, so let's start pulling our shadows. Can you see the difference? Can you see the difference is making? But our skin is still sitting where it's supposed to sit. And then maybe now we can start working on our skin to this point like this, like this, and then maybe give a little green in the highlights like this. So we came before, after. Let's compare the two of them like this, and let's compare the two. Now these are two images, but you can't actually you can't notice it. So let me swipe. You can't really see the difference, but how am I going? Okay, let me make this last part. Let me put it in this level and swipe, so you can see the difference. The one at this side is the one we saved, the last one. So if I Ctrl Z back, you can see a slight difference in the two of them. Just a slight difference in the two of them. Let's come here and select this and go to still grades and open this. Now you can see there's a difference between these two. There's a difference between these two. This one here, I used the lifts first to affect the dark side before touching the skin, but in a way it also touched the skin. But here I used only the shadows, and the shadows did not affect the skin because the skin is in the middle point of the image. We only affected the shadows and then we worked on it. But I think for me, I would go with this one here rather than this. It's not like this is not looking fine, but I think this is looking better. So I would just put this back. So the same thing you can do to this second clip. Any clip you are coloring, just make sure you know what you are doing. Let me bring my waveform back, and let's say we push it to this part, and the last part, which is our look. Let me name this still. Sorry guys, I didn't put these names. Our look, let's just leave this like this, and let's say the same thing here, our look. So want to do the same thing. How should we do this? Just like we did the first one, let's come to our lift still, and we push this down to this level. You can see the difference we are making already. And then want to push this red midtones to this part, and add a little green to our image to this level. So if I take this off, bam, this is what we have. Can you see what we have, guys? We came from this to this. The same thing if I come back here, from this to this, from this to this. So just like I said, there are basically 3 parts to color grading. Any other thing else is like an advanced way of color grading. You have to go through these 3 process: your contrast, which is your exposure, contrast, and white balance. Then second is your primary corrections, where you work on each individual colors and probably masking, creating windows, taking light from this part, putting light here, reducing saturation here, taking lights. Do you understand? And then the last part is where you create your look, like the final print that goes with your image completely. This same look that we did here can go with the other one. Let's say I copy this, Ctrl C, and then I come here, let me take it towards her face, and then I paste it here. Can you see the same thing? Just like what we did there, I paste it here and it's looking the same. So if I should grab still and save this, probably push this to this level, yes, and paste, you can see where we are. The same method works for every image, but your number one focus should be this first place, which is your exposure, because not every image is exposed well. But if you do your exposure and it's exposed well, you can have a darker and a brighter image, but make sure you balance the 2 of them before you move to your white balance. Sorry guys, and after your white balance, you can now move to your saturation. After your saturation, then your secondary parts of the color correction and color grading, where you select, that's where the grading starts, where you start changing colors, changing hues, how they look, this, that, good. An additional stuff, you can also add a lot, maybe after your grade at the end, or maybe in your secondary correction, maybe if you want to add a lot. So let's just say, for example, I just want to add this is a bonus tip. I want to add this lot here. Now let's say I want to add this lot and I've done this. Now this lot is kind of crushing my image. All I can do is maybe just come to this part and reduce the key output gain, maybe to this level. And remember, I said this is the secondary part of color grading. Remember, we reduce the intensity of the brightness here, so we can still do the same thing here and reduce the light and maybe boost the shadows up a little. So if I take this off, before and after, not much difference, but still it made our image look more juicy. Maybe if I want to change the saturation, I can double click on this one. You can see now, this is me changing the look again from there to this. And using your lot, you can stop here. You can still do the same thing. Let's say we copy this lot and I come to this place and maybe create a new node beside under the node 6, and I want to paste this. So if I paste it here, you can see it still works. It's just the fundamentals of color grading. Once you have this, your work is going to be easy and you are going to grade fast. Just have this knowledge and fundamentals in your head. Any other thing is just an added and a bonus tips to you when it comes to color grading. Just stick to these 3 steps first. So thank you guys. Thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. Please, the only way you can support me right now is to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, and comment on my videos. And don't forget that I take personal classes and I work on projects too. And currently I'm on a promo on working on projects, so you can reach out to me to color grade your music videos, film, commercials, documentaries, or anything. My number is on the screen and my social media handles is also on the screen. So I will see you all in my next class. Thank you. Bye.